Hey guys, it's me, Kristy Lee, and I wanted to introduce you to a few friends I met today. So I've been feeling down a bit, and today was especially difficult. I found myself having some pretty severe anxiety, and when I was younger and I used to feel alone or depressed, I'd like to walk to the Walmart garden center and, well, Walmart in general, or pet stores or anything. A lot of times I would go pick out a plant, usually a pothos, though not like this one. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this kind of pothos, usually just the golden pothos. Those are my favorite, mostly because someone like me who has a tendency to fail at a lot of things, you can pretty much fail a pothos and it's still going to live. I don't know how, but anyway, so I used to walk to the garden centers and pick out plants or go to the pet store and buy fish. And I think maybe that's why guppies are one of my favorites, is because they're such hardy fish as well. But anyway, so bringing living things into my home that are easy to care for, because if they were difficult and I failed, that would just make it worse. But bringing things into my home that are easy to care for and having just life growing and flourishing around me has always, even before I realized it, has always helped me with my depression and my anxiety. So today, when I was feeling especially down and having a bit of an anxiety attack, I decided to go to Walmart, which I was right next door to, and I thought, I'll just buy a new plant. He'll be my new friend, and he'll bring a little bit of life in. And I knew that I wanted a succulent because I've been watching lots of videos on YouTube now about succulents and how to propagate. And I was getting really excited about making a whole bunch of new plants. That's also one of the reasons why I love pothos so much, is because you can make new plants out of the plants you already have. So basically, you have an eternal, everlasting supply of plants from just one purchase. Just like with guppies and platies and mollies, if you wanted, or any fish really, but especially live bears. Anyway. So I thought I'd just go in there and maybe pick out a succulent, or maybe some other kind of vining plant like a philodendron, or maybe an ivy, though I've never really had a whole lot of luck with ivy. But I was actually quite excited when I got there, and I could not choose. I could not do it. But these were great prices on all these. All these were $3 or under, which, I mean, it is a little more expensive than it used to be. These used to be 89 cents back when I used to buy them all the time. So 2 something was a little more, but anyway. I was so excited to find this one. It was the only one that they had in the entire garden center, indoors and outdoors. And this is called a Pearl and Jade Pothos. And I think it's just absolutely beautiful. The pothos I have are the golden pothos, and I actually took quite a lot of clippings off of my main plant, my mother plant, parent plant. I call it my mother plant, because she was getting sick. I accidentally watered her with some water that had chemicals in it. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to slow her growth and kind of burn part of her. So I trimmed her all back to a very small portion, and I took a bunch of cuttings from her. And I've got them, some of them are in my fish tank, one of my fish tanks, the one that's not being treated right now. And then the rest of them are in this cup filled with fish tank water. So this is the golden pothos. It's green with a sort of yellowed kind of slight marbling in it. And you can see I need to cut this leaf so it won't expend all its energy on that. But so I'm going to be rooting these, and once they start to root, I'm going to be making some new plants So I'm excited about that, but that's the kind that I'm used to having. So when I saw this one, I got really excited. It is gorgeous, the white color. And these do really well in low light. I'm sure most of you know all about pothos. They are a little slower growing from what I hear because they do less photosynthesizing, which I guess is why their leaves aren't as green. I don't know. And then I could not choose. There were so many different interesting types of succulents, and I just could not choose. So I picked 3 of my most favorite. And then, of course, after I bought them, I saw some really awesome air plants, and I really wanted to grab those, but I couldn't. So I don't know the names of any of these because they gave me no information whatsoever at the Walmart Garden Center as far as names or anything. Now that I've got this home, I have some concerns about this powdery stuff that seems to be growing in the middle of the plant. I don't know if that's like a powdery mold mildew thing that's going to end up killing it off. I hope not. But I just thought that this was absolutely beautiful, the colors. And it's such a thick, you know, like a, I don't know, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. But it's like hardy. It just looks hardy. And then with this one also, this just kind of reminds me of like tongues. I don't know, like cat tongues. It's so weird. It's very interesting. Again, it's thick. I like that. It looks very sturdy and hardy. And there's 2 in here, so I felt like that was a pretty good deal. It's just the texture and the I don't know, I just really liked it. And they only had 1 of these, so I brought that home. And then this little guy is just adorable. Again, he's got the texture to him. He's got the thicker kind of leaves, and he's growing 2 little side plants here that I can take out of here and start in a whole nother pot. So I got 3 for this one. And I just think he's so cute. So adorable. I'm gonna get a cute little pot later on to put him in. But yes, so I wanted to introduce these guys to you and tell you about my relationship with plants and how it has helped me. I don't know why it helps, but I know I'm not alone in this. I was actually just watching videos yesterday and earlier today about a lot of different people who deal with anxiety and depression, and they find that caring for plants helps them. There's definitely something very rewarding in watching a plant flourish under your care. I don't do well with flowering plants. I never have. And I don't do great with vegetables. But houseplants I do okay with. Now, I've never had a succulent before, so I don't know how well I'm going to do. But the pothos I've always done really well with, and they just make me so happy. So I'm quite excited about that. And like I said, I just wanted to share that with you guys. So maybe if you're struggling with some depression and some anxiety, maybe you could take a trip to your local nursery or garden center, or, you know, however they do it wherever you're from, and just pick yourself out. Maybe just start with 1. Pick yourself out a little plant. Do some research on it so that you know exactly the kind of care that it needs, and then give it some love and attention, and it will reward you. Like the pothos is a low light plant, so it's gonna do well pretty much anywhere. These 3 are very high light plants, so I have to make sure that they get plenty of sunshine. All of these are going to be watered the same. You water them once really well, and then you wait for their soil to completely dry out, and then you water them again. So there's no like having to remember to water them so many days a week or so many, days out of the month. you know that you just check for dry soil, and if it's completely dry, it's time to water, and then it's not time again until the soil is completely dry again. So they're really, really easy to care for and beautiful and rewarding. And the fact that especially these, they grow and grow and grow, and you can just get babies after babies from them. These as well. I just think they're really rewarding, and I think it's worked for me, it's worked for other people to kind of bring a little bit of spark and happiness into your days. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. But tell me what you think. If you happen to know what any of these succulents are called, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to try to figure it out. But if you happen to know, go ahead and let me know what it is. Tell me if you like to keep houseplants, and if so, what's your favorite kind? And if you deal with depression and anxiety, tell me if you've tried using plants as a way to handle it, and how does it work out for you. Just, you know, let's just have a conversation about it. Alright guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.